Okay. So the topic I want to discuss today is support and resistance. So this support and resistance is very important in forex trading. So it's a base whereby you determine, okay, when price move from a particular point, where is it going next? So that's what they call support and resistance. You can see my screen. You can see my screen, right? So support and resistance are key concepts in forex trading. They help trader understand where price is likely to stop, bounce, or reverse. So support is like a floor. Let's say you are standing on a floor now. So that's your support. So let's say price move from the floor. So the moment price go to the roof, it's definitely going to stop. It will bounce back. It's either it bounce back to the floor or it breaks the roof above. And when it breaks the roof above, that roof becomes another support. So support is a price level where the market tends to stop falling and bounce upward. So in supports, the price leave, okay, let's say, let me just explain this now. Let's say price was coming from the roof, then price get to the floor. So because price was coming from resistance, so price was coming from resistance, and the moment it got to the floor, it's going to bounce back. If because where it bounce back is at that support is where we have the buyers, because buyers are in charge of the support zone, while sellers are in charge of the resistance zone. So yeah, think of it like the floor under the price. It forms when buyers become stronger enough to stop sellers. When price reaches support, it often rejects upward. So what it means is like when price is falling, once you get to a particular support, buyers are in charge there, so it will definitely bounce back. So sometimes when you are trading, you have been trading before, you see that okay, price was falling. The moment you get to a particular point, it will just bounce back with speed. What that tells us is like buyers are in charge of that zone. So buyers might have placed an order there. So the moment it triggered that order, the price will just bounce up back. So how support form? Previous low, demand zone, area where buyers stepped in before. Psychological levels, e.g. 1002 and 150. So these are areas where we can find support. Previous lows. On our previous low, let's say market has left a particular zone. So that becomes support. Before the end of this class, I will show you in the chart so you can understand. So previous low, demand zone, as I explained, okay, maybe buyers have they've placed an order at that particular point, like, okay, the moment price got to this point, I want to buy from here because they don't want to buy at the resistance. They want to buy at the support zone. So they buy at support and sell at resistance. Psychological level. So psychological level also are so powerful because these are zeros and five. So these are psychological level because this is where institutions trade. Institution when the institution want to trade, they don't trade on a random numbers. They trade on a psychological level. Maybe when they are buying from 1,000, is that they are going to 1,001 or 1,002. That's where they place their TP. They will make their order from 10 to another zero or five. So that's where institutions, in forex we call it psychological level, is very strong. The moment, if you have been trading before, the moment price go to this psychological level, that's 0 or 5, you will see the reaction that price will always react there. If price have been moving, either buying or selling, the moment it go to 0 or 5, it will react there. Sometimes it might not even get to that 5. And what the people that are in charge of this, what they do is they know a lot of people place their order around 5 and zeros. So they will not, sometimes they will not let it get to that point. Maybe you set your TP now at 500. They will not let it get to that point. They might get to 9 or 8, then price will reverse back. So that's why you see some people say, oh, you almost get to my TP and reverse back. It's because they set their TP at psychological level. So these are the key notes you need to note about support and resistance. Support is price level where buyers are stronger than seller. That's why price stop falling and rebounds upward. Why price rebounds support? Traders think the market is cheap there. Institution place large buy order at this level. Previous bounces create confidence that the level will hold again. I think I've explained this, the first two. So previous bounces creates confidence that the level will hold again. So how do you determine that, okay, if this support will not be broken? Because in trading, when you are trading, there are some key notes you need to know, like key support zone you need to note. If price have bounced back at that particular zone several times, not just once or twice. If you check your chart, like, okay, price have reacted like 4 or 5 times. The moment price go to this point, price always reacts, always bounce back. That will make it, okay, if price is falling, you just place an order there, okay. Once price gets to this point, it's definitely going to bounce back. At least buyers are in charge at this zone. You can place your buy order there, and the moment you got there, you will see how price will react there. What support look like? I will show us this on the chart, a series of low, okay, strong bullish candle forming here. I will show you on the chart later. And the resistance, as I said earlier, is like a ceiling where price, let's say when price leave the floor, it's definitely going to create another high because price has left a low. So it's going up. So that up is a resistance. We call it a resistance in forex. In advanced class, they call it supply zone. No, I mean, they call it demand zone. So why support is called demand zone? So resistance is a price level where the market tends to stop rising and fall down. Here, in resistance, sellers are in charge at this point because it's at the top. And when you are trading, you want to buy from support and sell at resistance. So sellers are always in charge here because that's where they know that, okay, price has been, like the price has been overbought and they want some discounts. They will have to sell at resistance and take their profit before maybe they will, after giving them some discount, then they can buy at support. They will send the price back to support zone before price will move up again. It forms when seller becomes strong enough to stop buyers. When price reaches resistance, it often rejects downward. How resistance from previous highs? I will show you on a chart very soon. Supply zone, psychological levels. Also, as we have it on a support zone, we have psychological level on a resistance also. Trend line touches. These are support zone also. I mean, these are resistance zone also. I will show you that on a chart before the end of this class. Resistance is where sellers are stronger. Yeah, I think I explained this. Price stop rising and fall down. Why price rejects? Traders believe price is too expensive. So here, buyers believe like, okay, price is too expensive because they have been buying from low. So when you get to that height, they want it to be discounted. They will want some discount. Okay, price should drop a little before they will continue buying up again. Institution place heavy sell order. I said earlier that this is where institution trade. They don't trade between between the lines. They trade around psychological level from one support to one resistance. That's why they trade. They don't trade in between. Previous rejection makes others expect another drop. what resistance look like, I will show you that on a chart soon now. Role, support can become resistant and resistance can become support. Yes. So let's say the market, let me just go to the chart. Okay, in this case here now, so here now, this is a support zone. Where I have my cursor here is a support zone. Let me mark it. Here is a support zone here now, where price, we can see price was dropping, falling from this height. This is a resistance. This is a resistance here now. We can see price was dropping from here, and the moment price got to this point, price bounced back because buyers have placed an order, every order here. The moment price got to this point, it bounced back and it went ahead to break this height. So the moment it broke this height, this previous resistance, this becomes support again because this has become another floor. So here now is another resistance. Is our recent resistance here now. This is where we have our recent resistance now. Our recent resistance is here now. Why this is now new support. These are our previous supports, and this is our previous support and previous resistance. But since price has broken this height here now, this become a support, and this is a new resistance now. So what price was targeting was to the moment price drop here now, price was supposed to go and break this resistance again. But the fact that okay, sellers are in charge here. You can see the fact that okay, sellers are in charge. We see the market keeps dropping, falling, and the market dropped to this point. So here now, this becomes our new support zone. New support here now. Here now is our new support. And also here is a new support. We have a new support here. Well, so I'll just, so we have, this is a support here. This is another support here also. This is another support here. So here becomes our new resistance. Here becomes our new resistance here because price dropped to this zone here. The moment price got here, buyers are in charge here. They try to push up, but sellers are more, the capacity of sellers are more in the market, so they bring the price down again. So the moment it broke this, the moment it break this support again, this place become a resistance again. As we can see here now, we can see price broke this low. It gave us another low here. Then he retested, he came back here to this resistance because this is resistance he broke. He broke this resistance. So he came back here again. Price drop, came back here again to retest this place. The moment he retests this place, this become another resistance again. Because if price want to go up now, if price decide, okay, you want to go up now, it must break this one first. Is when after he broke this one, then he can create another resistance here. And if he try to eliminate this, if he eliminate this height, so why it will target next is this resistance again. So that's how support and resistance work. Support turn to resistance and resistance turn to support. So what, okay, price break below support, that support may become new resistance. This is what I just explained now. This is called break and retest. What happened here is what we call break and retest. Yeah, it broke this low. It gave us another low. And what happened? It came back to retest this. This is what we call break and retest. It retested this zone. That, okay, oh, I've broken it. That means price want to continue going down. I'm trying to round up quick on this note so I can go back to the chart. Why support and resistance matters? They help you find entry points, place stop loss safely, target take profit zone, understand market structure. Yeah. So let me explain this on the charts. So let's say I want to take a trade now on this. As a trader now, if you see price falling down, like okay, let's say price started falling down from this height, yeah, and price already fall to this point. Price fell to this point. As a trader, you are not supposed to take a sell from this point because you want to sell because you know okay, the market is selling. You are not supposed to sell from this point. What you are supposed to do is look for the previous resistance or previous low that just broken. So this is our previous low that the market just broke. This is our previous low. Because here we have a previous low before it gave us another low here. So this was our previous low here, around this zone. Is our previous low. You can see after price broke this low, it came up again to retest it here. So as a trader, you're not supposed to sell here. You wait for price to come back and retest. This is where you now take your entry. You now place your trade here, you enter the market from here, and you look for the previous high, also the previous resistance. Again, which this is our previous resistance. Let me mark it. So as a trader, you want to trade smartly. You wait for price to break a low. If you are selling, you wait for price to break a low. After breaking a low, you wait for it to retest it. So the price fell from this height to this low here. So you don't need to enter from here. You just need to wait. It might take you, sometimes it might take you like a 1 hour or 2 hours. If I check for my chart now, this might take like almost 1 hour or 2 hours before it retests this height it broke. So you wait for it to retest. After retesting and you see that, okay, price want to drop again, this is where you place your trade. You enter, you can do sell limit from here or market execution from here. So when you sell from here, you put your TP, I mean, your stop loss will be at the previous, at the recent high. Because in case the market might decide that, okay, you want to buy again, you place your stop loss at the recent high. So in case the market reverse, it will not take you, it will not eat you too much. You just take a little. So from here to here, this may be around there, maybe this might be around maybe 200 pips. With 0.01, this might not be more than maybe $220. Instead of you putting your stop loss at this height. So if you cut you out from this high, from the recent high, it's better. So you now place your TP. You can target, since you are risking, let's say you are risking $20 in this case here now. You can target $40 or $60 because you are risking $20 to make. So it's best advised to risk $20 to make $40 or $60 or $50. That's 1:2. You want to risk 1 naira to make 2 naira or 3 naira. So here you now find the recent low, the next low. What you need to do while you find your next low, you come back to your previous charts around this zone. You know, okay, price broke this height. So since price is falling from this height here, from your chart here now, you know, like, okay, where is price going to drop, stop first? Okay, definitely, if it's falling from this height, definitely it's going to stop at this zone first. So you can set your TP1 around this zone and your TP2 here. Or if there is no any, if you can't find any low, any support or resistance here, you can use the psychological level, the zeros, whereby you, okay, let's say you enter from 4,620 here now. You can place your TP at 4,006. So that's like 200 pips, like that. Or, and if you want to make it like maybe 400 pips, you can put it 4,584 or 4,590. So you put your TP there. And what I always advise my students is to put their TP around the 8 or 9, since psychological level, price might not get there on time. But once you place your TP around the 8 or 9, you might easily get your TP easily, instead of you waiting like, oh, you almost get your TP and market will reverse. So that's on TP and stop loss. Okay, support and resistance in trends. Uptrend. So we have what we call a uptrend and downtrend. Uptrend is when the market is buying. And in this case, it gave us higher high, lower high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. In a downtrend, we see something like lower high and lower low, lower high, lower low. So I think in our next class, I will teach about that. We can see support keeps getting higher, give us higher lows. Resistance keeps getting broken, giving us higher high. This is in an uptrend. This is what we see in an uptrend. You buy at support in an uptrend. On a downtrend, resistance keeps getting lower highs. Support keeps getting broken. That's when market is in sell direction, when the bears are in charge, the sellers are in charge in the market. So that's a downtrend. The difference between uptrend is market is going up. In an uptrend, the market is buying. In a downtrend, the market is selling. So I will show that on the chart very soon now. You sell at resistance in a downtrend. What makes strong support or resistance? A level is stronger when it has been tested multiple times. I explained this earlier. It aligns with higher time frame zone. It has weak rejection. It caused a strong move away previously. I will explain this on the chart. So what this means is like, it has been tested multiple times. Let me go to the chart and explain that here now. So here now, we can see this is what we call a support zone here now. Let me mark it. In this case, we are going to call this a support zone, not just support. We can see here has been tested many times. The moment price got to this place, it keeps bouncing back. It was tested here 1, 2. We can see multiple times it was tested 3, 4. Here also, around here also, it was tested. Here also, it was tested. So this makes it a very strong support. So if price got to this place now, since price is below it, since price has managed to break this point now, the moment price break into this, this support zone now, price will definitely come back again to retest it. Or if price could not break it, or if price get to this place, it might bounce back first and try again. If it managed to break it, then it will come back to retest it before going to the upward direction. So this is what we call an uptrend. Let me go to 4 hours, no, daily. From daily, we'll see an uptrend since the market is. So this is what we call an uptrend. we can see from this zone, from here, the market has just been buying. In here, this is what we call an uptrend, because the market was just buying, keeps buying. But once the moment the market got the buyers exhausted their strength, this is where sellers step in. We now see, the trend now changed now to a downtrend. We can now see now like, okay, it's not buying again, it's now a sell trend. If I go to, let me go to 4 hours so we can see it very clearly. We can see here now. Here it was buying. It was buying. The moment you get to this height, 5,006. So that's where sellers are in charge of this point, because they feel like, oh, price is overbought. They need some discounts. It needs to be discounted. And this happened January 26, I think. This was on January 26. And since January, we can see the market has been in a downtrend. Even though we are seeing some buy happening, but those buy are just correction. But the market has been on a downtrend. So this is, let me draw a trend line to show the downtrend. This is what they mean by, okay, like trend line touches. So as I draw this trend line now, if markets, we can see when the market drop, the price drop from here, it got to this height, it broke this trend line, it dropped again. It went back to retest the trend line. This is trend line touches on a downtrend. Here, market drop again. It went back to this zone again and retest and touch this trend line again and drop again. So there's a possibility that this price will drop. Since it has broken this, it will drop again and retest this trend line again. And if this trend line is broken, let's say the market push, buyers step in now and they break this trend line, it will come back again to retest it before going upward. So that's trend line. This is a sell trend line. A line higher frame, it has a weak rejection.